is something about the reaction to Dolly Parton's death that I cannot reconcile. Suddenly, everybody loved Dolly. Donald Trump tells us what a tremendous loss this is. MAGA accounts are celebrating her goodness. People are talking about her enormous heart and generosity and saying there will never be another Dolly Parton. But here's the uncomfortable question. Did you love Dolly Parton? Or did you just love the idea of Dolly Parton? Because Dolly Parton wasn't simply a woman with a beautiful voice, big hair, and rhinestones. Dolly's values had consequences. She believed children deserved books, whether their parents could afford them or not. She created the Imagination Library, which has distributed hundreds of millions of books to children. She believed sick children deserved help. She personally gave $1 million for pediatric infectious disease research. She believed science could save lives. She donated another $1 million toward COVID research at Vanderbilt, research connected to development of the Moderna vaccine. She supported children's hospitals. She helped families devastated by wildfires. Again and again, Dolly took what she had and used it to make life better for somebody who had less. And then there is Dietrich Bonhoeffer. Bonhoeffer learned something terrifying while watching Germany ascend into authoritarianism. Being privately good is not enough. He wrote about people retreating into private virtuousness while injustice unfolded around them. People who had to close their eyes and mouths to what was happening in order to preserve the belief that they themselves were good. Bonhoeffer chose something harder: responsibility. That distinction matters enormously right now, because you cannot separate political choices from their consequences and then declare yourself uninvolved. If you support politicians who dismantle the very things you claim to value, that support is an action. If you vote for the policies, you don't get to pretend the consequences belong entirely to someone else. And that's why I have such a difficult time watching Donald Trump drape himself in Dolly Parton's legacy now that she's gone. Lowering the flag is easy. Calling Dolly an American treasure is easy. Saying there will never be another person like her is easy. But where was that reverence for what Dolly actually spent her life doing? Dolly championed childhood literacy. Dolly funded medical research. Dolly supported vaccines. Dolly poured money into children's health. Dolly repeatedly used her enormous wealth to lift up people who had less. You don't honor that legacy simply by loving Jolene. You honor it by deciding that the people Dolly cared about mattered too. And this is where I draw my line. I'm not interested in judging whether every individual Trump voter is an evil human being or not. I am interested in judging actions, policies, and consequences. And I refuse to pretend that a handful of good actions erase destructive ones. That is precisely why history demands moral clarity. A person can be charming. A person can occasionally do something good. A political movement can contain perfectly pleasant people. None of those things absolves us from examining what that person or movement actually does with power. Bonhoeffer understood that distinction at an unimaginable cost. So don't tell me how much you loved Dolly Parton today. Tell me whether you are willing to defend the things she loved while you're still alive to do something about them. The children who need books are still here. The children who need medical research are still here. The families who need compassion are still here. Dolly's legacy doesn't need our hypocrisy. It needs our participation. It needs our participation, even if you can't say the word properly. It needs our involvement. So I ask people who are MAGA, who are talking positively about Dolly Parton, are you going to continue her legacy? Or are we just going to lower the flag at half-mast for a week?
But I don't mind. I'm proud of every year I've lived. What is somebody once said, age is mind over matter. If you don't mind, then it don't matter. And I don't mind.
My life has been very blessed. I've been very lucky. I've worked very hard, but still, I know a lot of people, that has twice the talent, but ain't done near